as you can say, it is the intersectionality for ensuring inclusion for across two levels I am checking. SDGs 2030, which also represent the international scenario, and today we are in 2023 as a country, and we are signatory to that. So how we are responding to that, and what is my report as on January 2025. That is what I have tried to put. Slides are a bit number more. Again, we talked about UDL, so I just want to make one or two more comments before I go with my presentation. Given a choice, I would have liked my screen to be a little darker in the background, so that if I had visually impaired, challenged persons with eyesight issues or something, the contrast would have been much better. Am I right? Second principle of UDL, as I will go through it, you will find, I have learned it after teaching the mixed classes of different disabilities in professional courses as well as other places, that sometimes even if I write down the main points, which make my PowerPoint presentation very quick, but what I speak is lost to many. Third is, I have created my own UDL principle by saying many of you are the budding researchers also. You have the research papers. So it's my moral responsibility that I should always give you the references, the page numbers, everything, because even PowerPoint does not allow us to have the plagiarism. So you may find a lot of words on my presentation, but these copies are, I never copyright them. They are freely available on request to me as well as to the organizers. And also, we were talking about the technology. The new buzzword of the world is today, no, not AI. It is blended learning design. The most suitable pedagogy for the persons with disabilities as well as for all of us. Thoda sa see little, listen little, read more, reflect more, watch more, explore more, and then you see how you become the self-regulated learner for the 21st century. So with that spirit, I start my presentation. My first slide is, I'm talking about the universal commitment. It is not only mine, yours, this country or that country's. It is the whole international community has committed, leave no one behind. Now, we have been listening to this last 2 days, today and yesterday, and we have been talking to one particular group of persons with disabilities. But today, as I represent Government of India as well as the international community, for me, no one leave behind has a much, much larger scope, and I will explain very quickly, but yes, disability is going to be my focus as a main reference point, because as I have written on these points, that disability is the most affected cross-cutting occurrence. I'm not saying it is a disease or a phenomena or anything. It is an occurrence. It can occur to any one of us, anywhere, at any point of life. We do not know. And there may be so many reasons which we today do not know. Tomorrow someone will explain, oh, you had this because of this. I do not care about it. Gender equality, socioeconomic barriers, ethnic and racial marginalization, each one of these factors ultimately define me. If I try to define 50 of you sitting in this room, I can put you in thousands of metrics and still you will not be able to identify that I am talking about you. Am I right? Hence, the overlapping issues necessitate tailored approaches that consider the unique circumstances of each individual. Hence, the emphasis in this presentation is on persons with disabilities, with the hope that if addressed, other people with disadvantages will also benefit. And my colleague Anupam is sitting here. When we started inclusion in this country, we proved it, that if we work for our child for disability in our classroom, the other children are also progressing much better, and that was our justification to the government of India to start these programs in this country. My second slide is a very familiar slide. We again need to understand the difference between the equity and equality. It is not, you can see, I really need not explain to it. It is, you have to give that extra bounce if someone needs to reach that place, and that is what all these things are all about. And as I said, 2008, there was an international conference at Geneva. 170 countries and more participated. And that time the UN reporter tried to prepare how many people who get really some or the other, we exclude for some reason or the other. And if you look at the list, you will find about more than 45 conditions which can make you a special need person for one reason or the other, and hence reflect that is why I'm saying the need for intersectionality. Children with disability have a greater chance of exclusion. Also, pandemic and other calamities have added to these numbers. So that is why, though I will talk about persons with disabilities, but in the back of my mind, all these 40, 50 types of known reasons of exclusion are also my concern when I say inclusion, and I am talking about SDGs, and I am talking about the national education policy of my country. Again, I have given here these slides. I am not going to read, I am just going to explain. This SDGs, disability and inclusion. See, these all things were done in 2015. Even that particular point of time, this type of things were worked out. Intersectionality is not about only SDG goal as the prime goal and rest of the things around. Every single goal, right from the goal on poverty to on this particular slide, it is up to does work economic growth SDG 4. If you look at, I have placed here how a person with disability is impacted. And this is what I am going to see. I will not read it. It will be there with you. Just as I have written for this 8, I have also said the same thing for the other 17 also. So you can read it. It is just an indicator that intersectionality is not about education. It's not only about gender. It is not about economic empowerment, but it is for all the things which these 17 goals are saying. And that is why today in 24, I wanted to share with you this particular slide for you to reflect, learn more, and work more in future. And here I have given an example for the women with disabilities. है ना, gender को we all accept gender. I try to prepare a paper. It is from that slide. If you people are interested, I will share that paper also. But I have just given here how if a person with disability you look at, how goal number 1, poverty, hunger, goal number 3, good health, quality education, gender equality, all those things continue to impact every person with disability. If it is happening with women with disability in general, you can imagine the fate of women with disabilities, girls with disabilities. Again, I will not go into the details, but I think you are understanding the feeling, the reason why I am sharing these things. Similarly, Goal number 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, that is clean water, energy, decent work, industry. In the morning only someone was talking, women do the household work. Am I right? If you are a person with disability and you have to go and fetch water from 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers or 3 kilometers, can you imagine what does it mean? Your efficiency, how you are counted. Am I right? So please do read it in greater details to understand this point if you want to take it up for your further research or any action in future. Now, this is the same thing, gender equality, and I have also tried to give you the idea that again, even this particular factor of gender, it also have an intersectionality across all the goals, and that is why I say the total indicators of about 231 gender specific, only 51 indicators out of all the SDGs touch the women somewhere. Rest of them, they have no mention. So you understand why intersectionality is very important in 2024 if you are talking about 2030 as your ultimate goal, which also happens to be for our own 5-year plan. So lesson learned is that in social science, intersectionality and being an agency, that is the key word. Whether you work for women with disability, whether you work for poor, whether you work for person with disability, blind, or within the disability, different categories of things, question is, do you respect them as an agency, which in an earlier session in this particular room, legal person, Arman Ali and all, they were talking about, who counts us? You just think disabled person is something to be taken care of, pity, but you don't create situations that tomorrow I can also be there, and that is how, friends, I have tried to solve this idea, and I am notorious in Delhi circles with education secretaries and all. They will say, oh, Sudesh gets so emotional about all those things, because I used to tell them, don't do it for them, do it for yourself. Today I can run up the 4 flights of my institute, but today even if lift is not working for one day, I hesitate to go to the first floor also. So when I got a ramp done in the institute, it took me 5 years. And today if you look at the footfall to the entrance to my institute, only 3% people use those 3 stairs to enter the institute. Rest of us are doing. So friends, it is the agency. If you think, then you start feeling it here, you start thinking it here, and then you start doing. It doesn't happen other way. And that is why we have to change the mindset towards intersectionality, and I have given you whatsoever told to you in a form that disability is just one of the factors, but as an individual, our ethnicity, gender, age, sexuality, culture, class, everything makes it a very, very complex thing when we are thinking of serving an individual with full faith and consideration. So you can read, and this is not a new word. I have given you the reference also, so that in case you want to do further research on it, reflect on it, please feel free to do. But today time is a factor, so I will not read it. Being the gap between the letter and the spirit, act says something. Am I right? Our politicians will say something. We write something in our acts. We write something in our orders. But when it comes to implement it, that spirit is lost. I give you a very simple example. You can read the slide later on, but I will give you a real example to make the point. I enter a classroom. teacher is using, she's not able to walk, so she has a stick and she's writing on the blackboard. The child is sitting on the floor and he is having problem with his legs, he cannot walk. So she's asking question, students are getting up and answering, but this boy has never asked a question. I said, why? She said, he will have to stand, no, it will pain. So I said, where is the government, where is any order which says that you can answer only when you stand? But it is a practice, am I right?
Yes.
And for this reason, this child who walked the very difficult path of his village to reach the school never got a chance to participate in the morning assembly and such functions just because he has to get up and get down one step of the school to be part of that. So friends, there is a degree of freedom in every written word which is for you and me to feel here and interpret, and that is what court has been doing for us over the years, including US. In 2017, Supreme Court of US has to put a rule if the education is free in the neighborhood, am I right? If they are not able to serve a child's special need, then the child has the right to go to a private institute and government will have to pay. Imagine when the idea came, the act, and when the ruling has come, so let us not say that they are good and we have a feel that we are not doing enough. No, we all need to do a lot of work because there is always a difference between what is written, how do you read it, how you interpret it, and how do you apply it. So now I come to the 2020 policy to say how we are responding to all those things. I have given you the international scenario. I have given you the theoretical framework, the research papers which are saying this thing, not Sudesh is saying these things. But in my country, our 23 principles are on which my country's policy is based, and it says recognizing, identifying and fostering the unique capabilities of each student by sensitizing teachers as well as parents to promote each student's holistic development. No one can have a second view about it. We talk about promoting multilingualism, but you will be surprised. Yesterday I was showing you a book, Mr. Mani was showing. New Zealand is the only country in the world in whose official language, New Zealand, English is one language. New Zealand Sign Language is an official language, and Maori or something is their local language, which is there happening in that country. So multilingualism, we all know, so we need to do that, and that is how our act, if you look at this, those principles are embodied in the 17 chapters, and I have given you all the action points which we have started to answer some of these questions in the SDGs. For example, you have got Right of Persons Disability Rules 2017. Our act was in 2016. Today the Supreme Court has given order to all the ministries, even to the civil organization, that we have to do accessibility audit of everything, talk out the new orders, and just now the work is going on 8th November, this order has been issued and these rules are undergoing change, and many of us, including me, I am part of those papers which we are preparing to make every part of life, transport, education, aviation, medical, name any service which you need, which has to be accessible. Similarly, we also have identified the posts. We have got 21 disabilities in my country. Now, A person with a disability can be the secretary to the government of India, he or she can be the prime minister, he or she can be a PM, and whole strata is there. But this gadget notification has opened up that whether you want to go to aeronautics, whether you go to medical profession, whether you want to engineer, any profession which any one of us aspire, my person with disability can also aspire for that. But what skills he need, what assistive devices he need, what the workplaces will need, what that work require, even those definitions there. So please, you all of you, read these 3,000 pages notification, 1,500 in Hindi, 1,500 in English, but it talks about 3,000 posts. So you can chart out what your programs in future you will see in the name of skill building, higher education, whatsoever come to your mind. Anupam is sitting here. We have got guidelines for the development of e-content for the children with disabilities. So we are listening so many things about apps and all. Those who need more information, I have given the reference. You can go ahead. It covers all the disabilities. And there are also now guidelines comprising 11 sections, 2 appendix, which you can download from this thing, and pathways to the access. This is a publication, small publication, but what I was saying, letter and spirit. The courts of India, tribunals of India have interpreted, and that is why one of the important thing which was mentioned in the room in the morning, now for reasonable accommodation, 40%, less than 40% also has a right to ask for accommodation. The process has been simplified. It doesn't need a disability certificate, but it does need some authentication. So please do read this and you will find all the judgments. So I thought, because I won't have time, I give you the references so that you will be able. So I am a teacher who believe in blended learning design, and I want you to be the self-regulated learner. She says, I have got only a few minutes. So intersectionality, what you need to be very careful is that it is from ECC to higher education. Because some of the things which we start in early childhood education, the independence which you give the child, which mothers were talking in the morning, the choices you give, that is how you also develop the personality. Just if we become self-regulated learning, definitely our children will also become self-regulated learners, and we need not sit for the tuition classes in the evening. But catch is, disability is a state subject. So also remember, every rule passed by the central government or the court does not automatically become applicable to your state and your province. The bureaucracy will have to take out the related notifications till that thing can be acted upon. So as a planner, I will say that I have written something here, 21 disabilities, because many other persons from other countries may not be knowing this. But what is more important is, please also see these other notifications which have come post 2020. One of the important thing is how we assess the different disability. We have problem. For example, muscular dystrophy. We read in the newspaper, no? IAS officer, but because MS is not mentioned, he is not done. So now this latest notification give you full details. Thalassemia, how do you decide the degree? Whether it is 40% less or above. How do you do this? All those things you will be able to find that. And 1 minute, so I will just say that, please forget the bell curve. Bell curve is a way of excluding people. ये नहीं कर सकते, ये नहीं कर सकते. Take up the long tail curve where your emphasis should be, how do I build up your capacity? What do you have? Built up on that. So being different can be a gift. We all know this statement. So we all need mentors. Many of us, we need to, at some point of time, we have to think it is we who have to respond. Time has come to act. We cannot wait, hence our own vocabulary. How do we say we don't handle child, we address. So please look at all these things and remember they all have similar dreams as you and I. So go ahead, we all are responsible citizen, we and not they. PWDs are we. Let us give our best, believe, recognize and respect. And this is a poem you can read by the time we finish the thing. It is written by a 8th standard boy who comes to my home. He writes, I said, can you write a poem for me for a child for disability? He wrote it, and that is what I thought will be my end point, which can be there on that till you finish your function. Thank you very much.